Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about multiplying and dividing decimals by powers of 10, like 10, 100, 1000 or more. It's super easy to learn. When we multiply or divide decimals by a power of 10, the main digits of the number don't change. All we have to do is to move the decimal point to the right or left, and sometimes we might need to add zeros. That's it. Let me show you how. Firstly, multiplication. When we multiply by 10, 100, or 1000, we make the number bigger by moving the decimal point to the right. But the question is, how many steps to the right should we move the decimal point? Well, we need to check how many zeros are there in the power of 10. This will be the number of steps to the right. If we're multiplying by 10, we move the decimal point one step to the right because 10 has one zero. If we're multiplying by 100, we move it 2 steps because 100 has 2 zeros. And if we're multiplying by 1000, we move it 3 steps. As you can see, when the decimal point reaches the end of a number, it disappears. But what if the decimal point reaches the end of the number before we finish all the steps? No problem. We just add zeros at the end for the rest of the steps. Let's try multiplying 2.3 by 1000. Because it is 1000, we need to move the decimal point 3 steps to the right. One step makes it 23. But we still need to move 2 more steps, so we add 2 zeros. Answer is 2300. Another one, 0.4 times 100. We need to move the decimal point 2 steps. One step makes it 4, but we still need to move it 1 more step, so we put a 0 at the end. Answer is 40. Now let's dive into dividing decimals by powers of 10. Guess what? It's just as simple. When we divide decimals by powers of 10, all we have to do is move the decimal point, but this time, we're moving it to the left to make the number smaller. Again, the number of steps to the left is the same as the number of zeros in the power of 10. For example, if we divide by 10, we move the decimal point 1 step to the left. If we divide by 100, we move it 2 steps. And if we divide by 1000, we move it 3 steps. When the decimal point reaches the end on the left side, it doesn't disappear, it remains. And of course, we can't put a decimal point without covering it with a 0. But what if the decimal point reaches the end of the number before we finish all the steps? Easy. We just add zeros to the front of the number to make it work. Let's try dividing 5.2 by 1000. We need to move the decimal point 3 steps to the left, but we have space for 1 step only. This means we need to put 2 zeros at the front. We put them, then we put the decimal point, and we finish off with a 0. Remember, this 0 is not counted. It is only there to cover the decimal point. Another one, 0.4 divided by 100. We need to move the decimal point 2 steps to the left. 1 step and it reaches the end. But we still need to move 1 more step, so we put a 0. Then we put the decimal point and cover it. Final answer is 0.004. To sum it up, when multiplying or dividing decimals by powers of 10, we only move the decimal point. We move it to the right in multiplication and move it to the left in division. The amount of steps is the same as the amount of zeros in the power of 10. If the decimal point reaches the end of either sides before finishing the steps, we add zeros. That's it.